이제 알아채 줄래 나의 마음속에 너를 향한 마음 그대 떠올려 줄래 우리 함께 했던 그 순간들을 이미 알고 있어 네 사랑을
She ain't got no money, her clothes are kinda funny, her hair is kinda wild and free. I wanna love rose where my rosemary goes, and nobody knows I'm clean. She talks kinda lazy and people say
Hi guys! Okay, hi, we are from group 1. In this video, we will be a tour guide at the Al Masun Grand Mas Medan with our foreign tourists. But let her introduce ourselves first.
Miss Anita from Australia.
So, my name is Syafija Taltanaila.
My name is Rizka Nabila Daulay.
My name is Satria Ramadana Syaputra.
My name is Novelita Sahara. My name is Ayu Gracia Febrianti Hutapea. My name is Nur Syafira.
My name is Erin Bulolo.
My name is Elizabeth Noviola Panjaitan. And my name is Trisa Gita Altarevi Pasaribo. Thank you.
Happy watching!
Okay, Miss, let me introduce myself. My name is Satria Ramadana Syaputra. Calling me Satria. Okay. So, Miss, Great Mosque of Medan is located in Medan Maimun on 13,200 square meters, sit with various facilities, functioning as both a place of worship and an activity center. Its main buildings serve as the focal point and features 4 corner dams and a larger central dam, creating a grand and symmetrical design that reflect the cultural heritage of the Delhi Sultanate. In addition to its architectural beauty, the mosque also plays an important role in supporting religious, educational, and social activities for the surrounding community. The spacious complex provides areas for gatherings and events, making it not only a spiritual landmark, but also a cultural symbol of Medan's historical identity. And one interesting fact is that during major Islamic celebrations such as Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, the leaders of the Delhi Sultanate and including the Sultan and his royal officials gather at this mosque, perform prayers together with the community. Okay, thank you, Miss.
Hello ma'am, my name is Ayu Hutapea. I would like to explain about the history of the Kaya Al Mansur Medan. So, the Delhi Sultanate originated from the former territory of the Peru Kingdom, which later developed into a new political entity. The name Peru changed into Delhi around the 17th century. Although the Sultanate had conflict with Aceh, it continued to grow at its pace. During its golden era, Delhi became an important center of trade and prosperity, and it built strong diplomatic and commercial relations with foreign countries. After Indonesian independence, the Delhi Sultanate remained recognized as part of Malay cultural heritage. One of the most important historical legacies of the Delhi Sultanate is Masjid Raya Al Mahmud. This mosque was built during the reign of Sultan Mamun al-Rashid Prakasa Alam. The construction started on August 21, 1906, and was complete in 1909. The design was first made by Theodor van Epp and later continued by G.A. Tingelmann. The architecture is a combination of Middle Eastern and European styles with a unique octagonal shape. Today, this mosque is an iconic landmark in Medan and represent the history and culture of Delhi Sultan.
So now I would like to explain the arrival of Islam in North Sumatra. The arrival of Islam in North Sumatra began the 13th century through international trade routes. At that time, Aceh became an important center where local traders meet Muslim merchants from Middle East, India, and Persia. The Samudra Pasai Kingdom, known as the first Islamic Sultanate, played a crucial role under its first leader, Sultan Malik as-Saleh. Historical evidence such as his tombstone in 1297 and the travel records of Marco Polo support the presence of Islam during that time. Over time, Islamic influence expanded to other regions, including the Haru Kingdom, which later developed into the Delhi Sultanate in front of there. As Islam spread, it became an important part of life in North Sumatra. This can be seen in places like the Masjid Raya Al-Mashhun, which reflects the influence of Islam in Delhi Sultanate. In conclusion, Islam spread this region through trade activities and the important role of the Samudra Pasai Kingdom and later influenced the growth of Islamic kingdoms such as Delhi. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Novelita Sahara. I would like to explain about the visitor rules of Masjid Raya Al-Mashhun. This mosque is still as a place of worship for Muslims. People come here every day to pray, especially on Fridays and during Islamic celebrations. If you want to visit this mosque, there are some rules to follow. You should wear polite and for the women usually cover their hair, and for all visitors must keep up their shoes before entering the mosque. And when you are in the mosque, we shouldn't be noisy. The mosque is a place for prayer, so everyone must keep quiet and respect others who are praying. And bringing food and drinks into the mosque is not allowed. This is to the mosque clean. And now, those are the visitor rules of Masjid Raya Al-Mashhun. By following these rules, we can show respect to the mosque and to the people who are worshipping there. We also help to keep the mosque clean, peaceful, and comfortable for everyone. That's all from me. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, Miss. My name is Naila. You can call me Naila. Okay. I will tell you about the architecture of the Grand Mosque. So, the Grand Mosque of Al-Mashhun in Medan is a historic mosque but built by the Delhi Sultanate, reflecting a unique blend of Islamic, Malay, and international architectural influence. The mosque is located near the governmental center, especially Maimun Palace, and is surrounded by important buildings such as the Royal Garden, Balai Kerapatan, and the former palace. This shows that the mosque played a central role in religious activities for both the Sultan and the community. Unlike most Islamic cities, the mosque is positioned to the north of the palace. This was influenced by the palace location near a river, which was an important transportation and trade route connected to the Strait of Malacca. The placement of the mosque was also carefully planned to align with surrounding buildings and to allow easy access from different directions. Structurally, the mosque stands on a strong and elevated foundation about 2.3 meters above ground level, although it is not directly visible. The foundation was designed to support the large structure and ensure long-term stability. Its construction was influenced by both local building techniques and European architectural methods during the colonial period. The floor plan of the mosque is mainly square, combined with octagonal shapes at the corners and in key areas such as the main prayer hall and veranda. This design supports the dome structure and creates visual harmony. This type of layout is commonly found in Islamic architecture in regions like the Middle East and India. Showing strong global influence, the mosque complex includes the main building, entrance gate, ablution area, minaret, and the burial site of the Delhi Sultanate. In terms of form, the building itself is a combination of several architecture traditions. The carved arches are influenced by Moorish architecture from Spain. The large dome and detailed ornaments show influence from Indian Mughal architecture. Geometric patterns and spatial concepts come from Middle Eastern and Persian traditions. At the same time, Malay culture is reflected in the use of yellow color and its connection to the royal palace. While European influence can be seen in the structural system and construction techniques, this makes the mosque as a result of cultural blending rather than a single architectural style. The mosque is also known for its meaningful colors. It uses white, green, yellow, and black. White represents purity, green symbolizes Islam, peace, and life, while yellow reflects Malay royalty, honor, and greatness. The black domes give a strong and elegant impression. Okay, that's all from my explanation, Miss. Okay, Miss, now it's my turn to explain about the main gate. The main gate of Masjid Raya Al Masun Medan is a biggest and most important entrance. It has a beautiful and elegant design, so it gives a strong first impression when the visitors arrive. But actually, the main doors of the mosque is not just one entrance. There are 4 main doors located on each side of the mosque, in front, in the back, left side, and the right side. Okay, next we move to the minaret. There is a minaret. So minaret is a tall tower about 70 meters located in the Max complex. In the past, minaret was used as a place to call the azan for inviting people to come and pray. The minaret still stands as a symbol of the mosque and also the Islamic tradition. The minaret of the Masjid Raya Al Masun Medan has 3 levels. The lower part is a square and the top is covered with a pointed dome. Inside of the minaret, there is a spiral staircase to reach the top. Okay, Miss, that's all of my explanation. Thank you.
The area or wudu area is Masjid Raya Al Masun is a stand-up architecture feature location about 20 meters from the main building and hosted under a distinctive structural worshippers gather around a massive elongate weather reservoirs beneath these domes perform this ritual. This historical structure has like the most unusual, more hominid approach, the prepares for players. In the recent years, the facility has been modernized to prioritize its HSG and comfort.
The last reservoirs is not fitted with the multiple water taps, and the area for women and men have been separated to ensure privacy. And internal space, the toilet facilities has been integrated to accommodate visitors. This blend of traditional domes are aesthetic and contemporary upgrade along the must maintain its the historic sites while meeting the practical needs of today's communication. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss, now I will explain about the staircase. There are 13 steps leading up to the mass. The steps bring visitors from the ground level to the main building.
Oh, is there any meaning to the 13 steps?
There is no confirmed special meaning behind the number 13. It is mainly part of the architectural design and structure of the mass. And did you see Bata Suci?
Yes.
Bata Suci is called sacred boundary. So this means the only people who are in a state of purity or have performed wudu or ablution are allowed to enter curtain areas, especially the main prayer hall. Visitors are also expected to take off their shoes and keep the area clean and respectful. This boundary helps maintain the holiness of the mass and creates a proper environment for worship. Okay, Miss, thank you.
Hey Miss, my name is Trisa Gita Altarevi. You can call me Revi. Now I will explain about the veranda, or which can be called serambi. Veranda is a space to resting, taking shelter, or praying when the main prayer hall is full. The veranda surrounds the main building and is divided into several sections. Some parts look like the small enclosed rooms, and other parts are open with rows of columns and arches that form a corridor around the mass.
My name is Aaron Bulala. Now I will explain about this corridor. This corridor, the main prayer hall, it has served by windows inspired by Islamic Spanish architecture. And then ways help provide good air circulation and natural light inside the mosque. The main prayer held in Masjid Raya Al Masum, it has an octagonal shape which is different from most mosques. There are usually square, and inside there are carpet for the praying and 8 pillars that support the big dome above.
And do the 8 pillars have any meaning?
No, there is no confirmed special meaning. The pillars are mainly built to support the dome and to follow the octagonal the side of the building. The walls and ceiling are decorated with the beautiful floral ornament and Islamic calligraphy. Okay.
Yes.
Making the interior look elegant and artistic.
Thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
interesting.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, Miss. My name is Novelita Sahara. Now I would like to explain about the visitor rules of Masjid Raya Al Mashun. There is a separation between men and women during prayer. This follow Islamic rules, where men and women pray in separate rows, usually with a different sections. Thank you.
name is Vira. And what's your name? Anita. Okay, Miss Anita. Okay, so first I will explain about the main prayer hall inside Masjid Raya Al Mansur. We can see three important parts that have both function and meaning of the main prayer hall. Okay, the first one is mimbar. It's a specially place where the places deliver the sermon. It will high so everyone can hear clearly and show respect for the message being shared. And the second is a mihrab. Is the wall that show the direction in the Qiblat, which toward the Kaabah in Makkah. And the imam stand here when leading the prayer, and so become the main focus of worship. And the last, this is a dome. It is a nice and the wall that show the direction of it is the roof of the top the mosque. It not only makes the building look beautiful, but it also help the sound spirit more clearly inside. Okay, do you have a question for me? Yes. Is it calligraphy
Yes.
just for decoration?
Yes.
Or does it have a meaning?
Okay. Yes, of course, it's a meaning. The calligraph usually contains verses from the Quran or praise to Allah. It's not only directive, but also has a spiritual meaning, reminding people of God while they're praying. And the calligraph is combined with floral ornament, creating a calm and scared atmosphere inside the mosque. Okay.
Handmade. And it's traditional food. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure. Very, very and I really enjoyed Thank you so much. That's lovely.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, good luck with your recital, and good luck with your studies, and good luck with getting good careers. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care.